What's up, guys? Blade Master here with Maximus Decimus Meridius. We are
Hello.
going to be commentating over the second match between. I never let you say hello. I'm sorry. Go ahead and say
No
hello
problem.
properly. We are going to commentate over the second game between Diplomat and Trolly Boli. So Trolly Boli won the first game with Rome against Boyai pretty handily, would you say?
Yeah, it was decisive. Very
Yeah.
decisive.
And the second game, it is now Trolly Boli's turn to ban or to pick the faction and map, and then ban 2 units for Diplo. So he has gone with Suebi, which is very 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 interesting. He's gone with Suebi on Alexandria. What do you make of that, Maximus?
Rome has Alexandria in terms of the terrain. The Roman infantry loves Alexandria, and one of the advantages for me going up against Rome with Suebi would be Germanic. It would be Spear Levy. It would be Germanic Scout Riders and Germanic Slingers. And all of those units are units you're not going to be able to use well on Alexandria. And the most important ability, Ariovistus, is one that's not going to be as good on Alexandria as on, say, Nemetusena.
Yep.
So I don't really see Suebi on Alexandria.
Exactly, which makes the decision of Trolly Boli to pick Alexandria with Suebi even more perplexing.
Yeah.
Almost, probably even more perplexing than Diplomat picking Boyai as the first faction and not Rome.
Definitely. But I mean, he might. Since he won the first one as decisively as he did, he might rely on Diplomat bringing a weird build and messing up his timing, something like that. Because I mean, I've done the same, and I've seen players do the same, using a weaker faction because you think that you have such a decisive advantage over your opponent that you want to. You think you can essentially do it with a weaker faction.
Right.
Like in this particular case, he knows his melee cavalry. He doesn't have any good melee cavalry to bring. He's just going for. Looks like he's banking on just swordmasters and Ariovistus to carry the day,
Yep.
because there's nothing else for him here.
That's because Diplomat, I believe, banned Noble Riders and Wolf Warriors, but it looks like he did bring one Wolf Warrior. Let me just take a look 1 second.
Okay.
Let's go to again. Amazing YouTubing going on right now. Okay. So Diplomat banned Swordmasters and oh shit! Why does it say Trolly Suebi unbanned Swordmasters? I guess he only banned one unit. I'm not really
Okay.
sure because Suebi has unbanned Swordmasters. So I guess now that makes sense. So Diplomat banned Noble Riders and he banned Swordmasters, and then Trolly just decided to unban Swordmasters.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would ban Spear Levy and Swordmasters, to be honest.
Fear Levy with Rome.
Yeah, because of the precursors against cavalry, and because noble riders, 10 bonus versus large. It's good for Rome if Suevi brings noble riders.
Could be, but then I would say the Noble Riders themselves can be very, very dangerous because all they need is a rear charge on top of the fear penalties that are already applied with Suebi.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Could be enough
That's
to
true.
rout most units.
That could be done as well with the Germanic Scout Riders, Flaming Javelins.
True. And I actually really like that strategy. I've tried that a couple of times before. It works so well. But then again, I don't know if I would ban Spear Levy either, because the thing is, with Suebi, you're going to have to take the offensive. So it's not like when you're playing, Boyai or something, Levy Freeman are that crucial because, in one of those engagements like Boyai Tillis, you don't really know who's going to take the offensive first.
Yeah.
So having Levy Freeman to stay as a screen is going to be pretty important. Whereas over here, I don't really see what he's going to use his Spear Levy for.
Spear Levy, Fast Charge, Pride, Spear Levy are great for blowing up and stopping units.
True, but if they blob up a unit, that just means that your Swordmasters in the second line will not have a perfect charge.
Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be more than enough. It's going to be more than enough with the added damage, the added AP of the spear levy. Just getting more men in there with that AP is quite devastating.
And another thing which I just realized is bringing spear levy could be it's right, like bringing spear levy could be very essential because of units like these, the 4 vigiles or 3 vigiles that are set up in front.
Yeah, that's the thing about the spear levy. Yeah,
Yeah,
spear levy kill every single other shit tier unit in the game.
they are very good.
Yeah, they kill levy freemen, they kill vigiles, they kill basically every other shit tier unit, which makes them essential in removing obstacles for your swordmasters.
Right, right. So shall we go over the builds? It looks like most of the builds are.
Yep.
I'll go over Suebi first, I guess. There's 6 spear levy. It's very straightforward build. 6 spear levy, 6 sword masters, including a sword master, Aryavistus general, 1 wolf warrior, and 1 bloodsworn for I guess no reason, and a total of 3 Germanic scout riders with 1 Germanic slinger. It looks like.
And for Diplomatt, we have a total of 6 veteran legionaries and evocati cohort total. Then we have 2 Praetorian Guard. For cavalry, we have 4 equites. We have some vigiles up front. The general is general's bodyguard, I assume. I haven't seen him yet. But he has quite a few vigiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 at least, maybe 6. Well, makes sense. 1 gladiator spear makes sense against Suebi, but the problem is though, vigiles up against these spear levy, the vigiles will lose. And here we have fast charge.
Oh shit! This is going to be it's going to be tough. I think he's popped it, maybe even slightly.
It's premature.
Early. Yeah.
And he's going to get slowed down in the forest. He doesn't see everything. So yeah, this is.
And Avocado is already pulling back. Vigil is doing their job perfectly, just holding out. Sending some equities too through the gaps, maybe to hit the sword masters. Not really sure why he's doing that.
Yeah, but the Trolly had attack orders on the equites.
Yeah, he got precursor.
Yeah, he killed a lot of equites, but the spear levy is attacked in the rear now, probably because of these equites moving through them.
Right.
So they will lose.
Oh, fast charge is still on, by the way, and the Avocadi are about to charge into a fully fast charged swordmaster.
But I don't. I mean, most of the swordmasters are just hitting vigiles.
Yeah. One of the swordmasters got some Avocadi, but for the most part, they didn't get a charge in. And now equities are circling around. This is it's actually looking very bad for Trolly Boli.
Yeah.
Bloodsworn just got hit by equities, and already very efficient quick surround by Diplomatt on the Suebi infantry.
Diplomatt has looks like he has formation attack on, which makes sense in this this situation.
You think so? Why would it make sense?
Wanting to limit the amount of men fighting against the in the beginning to wanting to limit the amount of men fighting up against the swordmasters.
Yeah, that's true. This Velite and Leves are going to destroy the swordmaster pretty quickly, especially if they keep focusing fire. Swordmaster's here, general with shield wall on, fighting up against Praetorian Guard and Gladiator Spearmen, both of whom are losing decisively in that engagement. And Equities now, after that initial charge, they got like 71 kills, but now they're trying to rout. And I think, that's a good idea, bringing so many swordmasters. They can still, it's not like they're completely dependent on the charge.
Yeah.
But then again, I wouldn't favor them over Avocadi cohort in the forest.
No, they're not cost effective against Roman infantry at all.
Yeah.
And they're dying so quickly here to these 2 Velite units. And the Velites and the Leves, they're picking apart the swordmasters that are breaking through. Even in the forest.
There's nothing really that Trolly Boli can do either.
Yeah.
He's bringing the Scout Rider here to try and charge into them, which is a smart idea, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, everything is engaged, everything is losing, getting rear charged on the flanks.
Yeah, and the general is rear charging the swordmaster. Could be very, very crucial in applying morale penalties.
Yeah. And now the swordmasters, they are losing to the Praetorian Guard, even though the swordmasters are in shield wall.
Ah. Yeah, the Praetorian Guard are just so good in extended melee
Yeah.
that they just make up for the initial bit of suckiness that happens with Roman infantry.
Losing in the beginning and then just taking over.
Yeah, and there are bound to be pockets where the Wolf Warriors and the Bloodsworn were fighting up against Avocadi and veteran legionaries, that the Roman infantry have completely cleared out, and now they can just rear charge. He's
And
popped
so,
Pride way
yeah,
too late. He's just popped
way
Pride
too
again.
late. Pride fast
Yeah,
charge needs to happen almost simultaneously,
exactly.
or at least when the highest amount of units is engaged. That can tip the balance in favor of Suebi, but yeah, this battle is a good testament to how quickly Suebi falls apart.
Exactly. General also has died for the swordmasters. Some of the Roman infantry are wavering and dying, but there's just way too many Avocadi and veteran legionaries here.
Yeah.
Manic Slinger's only 2 kills. No real reason why he brought them.
Yeah, no reason to bring these slingers on Alexandria unless you want to like bait precursors and stuff like that, but they weren't really used for it either.
Yeah, and Swordmaster's just a bit 39, 61, 87, and the general is basically dead. So, and there's one more at 23 units. Yeah, way too few Swordmasters to win this. Spear Levy being kited back, some late game MLG tactics by Trolly Boli. No real reason why he would do that though. He's just delaying the inevitable, I guess.
Yeah, he has his depleted swordmasters in the center, but Diplomatt's infantry is going to tank it out. Desperately sending in the Germanic scouts here against some veteran legionaries, but the veteran legionaries just don't care.
Yeah. Some of the Vigiles dying to Germanic scout riders, they are a very good unit.
Oh yeah.
They're going to recharge this Avocadi, but if this Avocadi was at like 60 men, then that could be that would be a very good decision. But they're just too many in number for it to really make a difference.
They didn't get a single kill from that charge.
Yeah, it's just some paltry HP damage, hopefully.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the Avocadi, they've done okay, but I wouldn't say they've been thoroughly cost effective. But you know what wins the game is just holding out the Suebi infantry.
Yeah.
And you know, no more. The most reliable infantry for that is Roman infantry.
Yeah, one of the best factions to take on Suebi. Just keep the units shielded somewhat by cheap units, and then you win.
Yeah.
Basically. So a smart choice by Diplomatt.
Yeah.
And not one of the most. I mean, it can be an exciting matchup, but it's certainly not one of the most exciting matchups because it's so easy to predict what's going to happen.
It's a very fun matchup to watch if Suebi does everything right.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so hard to do everything right with Suebi.
Yeah. There was this one Suebi match which we commentated on in the original Unit Band tournament. I think it was Llewellyn versus Armenian King.
Yeah.
Where one took Suebi, and that was just such a fun match.
Yeah, that was really good. But that was also forest, snow. I mean, I can see Suebi being used on a snowy map against Rome, especially with using slingers, kiting, and the Germanic scouts. Sure, that can work, but on a hot Alexandria, it's way too difficult.
Yeah, they're just like slowly dying now.
Yep.
You can, I mean, might as well just fast forward to the last, minute or so.
Fast forwarding. Last Swordmaster holding out here, getting some nice kills, but
and that Spear Levy just recharged and Avocadi.
So yeah, that was a good one by Diplomatt. Smart map pick, smart faction pick. You can see how poorly the Swordmasters do against the Roman mid-tiers.
Yep. One of them didn't even get a single experience shot on.
Yeah. But overall,
the Germanic Scout Riders did okay. Yeah, overall it was not a bad performance from Trolly Boli at all, considering the obstacles that were facing him.
It's just that he lacks good cavalry support. He lacks good mid-tier swords, and those are the main problems with Suebi.
Yeah. But all in all, honestly, he could have still won this if he just used his Spear Levy right. Like if he popped fast charge far too early.
Yeah.
What he could have done, or what he should have done, is just charge the Spear Levy into the Vigiles individually, and then help them clear out the initial line, and then there would be nothing to stop him.
Yeah, that could work very well. Thing is though, on Alexandria, it's much harder to play well because of the chaos factor of not seeing every single enemy unit. So it's much harder to predict the different engagements on Alexandria than it would be on Nemetusena.
Exactly, and it's much easier for you to just play it safe, quote unquote, and like pop fast charge early, because that's better than not popping fast charge at all.
And it once again it favors Rome that the player who goes aggressively has a harder time going full on than the player who chooses to play defensively.
Yep.
And Diplomatt, by the way, he only had 1 Praetorian. I said he had 2, but he had 6 Evocati, 1 Praetorian, 1 Veteran Legionary.
1 Veteran Legionary, yeah. Praetorian did pretty well too.
Yeah.
Alright guys, that's the end of game 2. So there is going to be a game 3 between these two very good players. So you guys stay tuned for that.
Strength and honor.